Kitty Kitty. Today's video is all about children's sewing. I've got 3 children, and as I said in my last video, I love making them clothes, and I've got a whole stack of clothes here to show you that I've made over the last couple of years. I think I might have to split this video into 2 because it's just going to take ages otherwise, so I'll start and we'll see how we get on. To begin with, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my new Bibby Tilly in the Buttons pinafore dress that I showed you in my last video, made out of this dark green Ponteroma. It's really comfy. I just stand up so you can see the shape. It's got a nice thick waistband in the middle and a pencil skirt at the bottom. It's really comfy, and yeah, I like to wear it. So I'll start with one of the first patterns that I made my children. I suddenly became inspired to sew after having my kids. I hadn't sewn for a few years. I was given a sewing machine as an engagement present from my nan and granddad, and I suddenly got really excited about sewing for children. So this was one of the first patterns that I started with, and it's pretty tatty, so forgive me for that. It's been used a lot. This is a McCall's M4644. So as you can see, it's, I mean, the photo doesn't really do it justice. I have to say, I've only made the sweatshirt hoodie out of this pattern, but you can tell by the state of the pattern it's been used a lot. So all 3 of my kids have had hoodies, and when I was searching through, I could only find 2 today, but that doesn't mean I haven't made loads of them. They're probably in the wash, or so I'll just show you the 2 I've got here. It's a nice simple, I don't know if you can see the line drawing. It's a really simple make, nice and quick. This version is made using fleece from an IKEA throw. Excellent tip if you want some cheap fabric, fleece in particular. IKEA do these amazingly cheap throws made from fleece, and you can get quite a lot of children's clothes out of those. The only trouble is it does bobble, but you know, this hoodie's been worn to death, so I'm not too worried about the bobbling. It's got a kangaroo pocket on the front. You have to excuse me, I've got a tiny bit of a sore throat today, so nice big hood. My son has red hair and he looks great in green. And the second one I've got here, just to show you, give you an idea of what that pattern looks like made up, is made with a navy blue fleece with nice stars all over, again with the kangaroo pocket and a nice big hood. Just the most worn piece of clothing in my son's wardrobe, to be honest. Nice snuggly hoodies. So yeah, this fabric was from Hanson's, which is a fabric store probably about 45-minute drive from here, and it's worth the trip because they have a huge selection of fabrics, but yeah, not available online unfortunately, but I'm sure there are plenty of really good fleece fabrics that you can get online. So I've actually unfortunately decided this pattern only goes up to an age 6, and although my middle child is only just 6, I have replaced this trusty pattern with a new one in the most recent pattern sale. So this is a Birder 9672, and I thought I would go for something slightly more modern, a bit more updated, with a zip. And the variations here are you can put like a short zip in and have it like a hoodie top, or make it like a jacket. It also comes with a vest pattern, which I'm not sure whether or not that might be quite useful, I suppose, as a transitional piece this time of year, and then the trousers as well. So yeah, this is on my list of things to make now that I'm afraid my trusty McCall's has had it. So other things I've been making, in my last video I mentioned that I am super into jersey at the moment and stretch stitching, so I found this lovely pattern. It's a Project Runway Simplicity pattern, 1023, and both my girls wanted something comfortable to wear just for playing in, really. Sort of, they both love dresses. Neither of them like trousers very much, not unless they're leggings. And this actually does come with a leggings pattern as well. There is a couple of variations. You can have short sleeves or long sleeves. You can have a high-low hem. The first version I've made for my eldest is this view here, but without the high-low hem. She wasn't keen on that idea. And I made that out of a lovely fabric with bears all over it. And this is available, or it was available, at myfabrics.co.uk. I've seen it all over the place though. I'm sure there are other fabric sales shops that sell this. It's got bears all over it, and every now and again a little peep of a different little bear pops up. I went with a contrast ponte sleeve and the collar option, which I was a little bit not unsure of because I'd never done one like this before, but actually it was really straightforward. It went in just as well as an ordinary jersey neckband did, and yeah, it gives it a slightly more sort of like wintry feel. We opted not to, on the pattern you can see it has like a little fake turn here, which we sort of turn the fabric up and make it look almost like a top and a skirt rather than a one piece. And I did that for my daughter. I turned it all up and pinned it, and she just wasn't keen on that look. So we just let that down, and it's turned into sort of a drop waist dress. And actually, I don't think it takes anything away from its nice gathered, first time I'd ever gathered jersey, which is tricky-ish. But yeah, she's really keen, she likes to wear that. And so I've got a second on the go for my middle child. This fabric was also bought for me by my husband as a Christmas present. I had a big stash of jersey fabrics. It was like the best Christmas present ever. And this is also from myfabrics.co.uk. My middle child loves cats, and it's just covered in fantastic cats. So she's been waiting for this dress a while, and it's still not finished. It's kind of halfway through, so it's almost like a t-shirt in a minute. Haven't put the skirt on it yet, but I thought I'd show you today slightly different variation. So this has also got the sort of raglan sleeve, but they're short, and I put some yellow ribbing, if you can see, around the neckband. So she's gone without the collar. I sort of thought with the weather changing, when you make something for your kids, you want them to be able to wear it as soon as possible and for as long as possible. So I thought maybe the short sleeves might give more of an option during the summer, and then in the winter she could perhaps pop a cardigan over the top. So yeah, the skirt's cut out, just not made yet. Might do that this afternoon. So hopefully I'll show you that in another video when it's finished. So staying on the theme of dresses, this lovely book here is by Kirsty Hartley. I don't know if you've ever seen this book. It's just packed full of the cutest kids' clothes you could imagine. A lot of them are animal themed, and there are lots of applique designs in her dresses, and they're just so cute. So I've made loads of these dresses over the years. It's a very basic sort of A-line pinafore type dress with just the buttons on the shoulders to fix, and I've made so many of all sorts of different types. It's very versatile. The only drawback, you can see all my patterns sticking out the book. The only drawback to Kirsty's patterns are she doesn't include the seam allowance, which when you're tracing you then have to add on, which is a bit of a pain. But to be honest with you, the designs are so fantastic, it's worth spending the extra time to add the seam allowance. So I've got 3 of those dresses here today. One of them is being worn to a family party, so I will try and insert a picture somewhere of that one, because it's got some really cute applique that I did of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. The first one here is this really heavy cotton drill material, which is also from IKEA actually. This had a very 60s vibe to it. I thought it was quite fun. So it's a nice simple shape, very easy to wear, very easy to fit. I drafted a pink Peter Pan collar so that it could properly be a nice 60s design, and I added some red bias binding. I've gone all out on this dress. I mean, it's super clashy. It's got an orange interior, so it's put your sunglasses on time. But yeah, really nice, super shape, red bias binding on the hem. This one is not lined. This one I made for my eldest out of just a nice denim fabric that I got from my local fabric land. I lined it with red polka dots that I had in my stash. I think I only did like a half lining on this one, so it just comes down below the chest area. It's got big red buttons, and it was one of my first attempts at freehand machine embroidery, which is so much fun. It's like drawing with a sewing machine. You can see I put little birds all over this one, and I hand sewed the branch, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but I added the details with my free motion embroidery foot, and yeah, that got me excited for more machine embroidery. And so there is this one. This is our absolute favourite dress. My middle child wears this all the time, and I am so pleased with it. It looks awesome on her. She's got kind of reddy blonde, sort of strawberry blonde hair, a bit like me. So this sort of jade green jumbo cord looks great on her with the brown bias binding, and I've lined it with a sheet that I got from a charity shop, and inspired by Minnie Bowden, because I love their catalogue, I decided to have a go at machine embroidering a lovely rabbit, and such a favourite, this dress. So yeah, that Kirsty Hartley pattern, you can do lots and lots of different, because it's such a flat shape. It lends itself really well to embroidery and applique. Yeah, so really that's probably one of my proudest makes, and the fact that she loves it so much is brilliant. So I have got some other bits and pieces to show you, but I think I'm going to have to stop there and cut this video into two, because we are rapidly approaching the 15-minute mark. So please tune in for the next one, where I talk about the rest of my children's patterns. Thanks for tuning in. Please click the like button and subscribe if you want to see more.